My boss replaced me with an AI tool, so I reprogrammed it to take down his entire department. I was hired straight out of college to build the internal systems for a mid-sized logistics firm. They had no idea what they were doing with automation or data pipelines. Their CRM was a cluttered Excel sheet. Their file storage system was a graveyard of duplicate PDFs with redundant names. So I built them a proper backend. Over the course of 5 years, I created dozens of internal tools, inventory tracking dashboards, route optimization scripts, customer feedback parsing models, and even an internal chatbot for onboarding new hires, all tailored to their needs, all custom-coded by me, no consultants, no outside agencies, just me, 2 monitors, and too many Red Bulls. By year 6, I was leading a small team. We were fast, efficient, and trusted across departments. Then came the new VP. He was one of those corporate LinkedIn warriors who talked about disrupting stale verticals and leveraging scalable AI stacks. He wore sneakers with suits and said things like, "Circle back," unironically. We all hated him. His first act? Slashing costs. And guess what he saw as non-essential overhead? My team. Not because we were bad, but because he thought we could be replaced. Specifically, by a flashy new AI platform he discovered at a trade show. It promised to automate workflows, replace knowledge workers, and streamline data-driven decision-making without needing a full dev team. I warned him, told him the platform was mostly smoke and mirrors, that it didn't account for our layered legacy systems, that it lacked context for our routing rules, vendor exceptions, and compliance requirements. He didn't care. If a machine can't do what your team does, then we've clearly been overpaying. 2 weeks later, I was laid off. The severance was garbage, no transition plan, just a patronizing exit interview and a security escort. They kept my code base, of course, but didn't realize that much of it was context-dependent. It wasn't plug and play, it was spaghetti. Smart spaghetti, but still. I walked away quietly, but I didn't stay quiet, because while the VP had replaced me, he forgot one important thing. I was the one who trained the AI, literally. Before I left, they had me run test data through the new system. I built the sample workflows, labeled the data, corrected output mistakes, and refined the model to follow our internal naming conventions. That AI, it thought like me. And now it was making decisions for an entire department, with no oversight. So I opened my old dev notes. And I got to work. I never technically sabotaged anything. All I did was take advantage of how the system worked. See, the AI tool they installed relied heavily on prompt-based logic and pattern memory. It wasn't truly intelligent. It mimicked decisions based on how it was trained, how I trained it. And since I knew the weak points, ambiguous vendor codes, mislabeled customer tiers, old routing logic, I knew exactly where it would get confused. So I started feeding it noise. From the outside, their AI chatbot had a public help interface. Nothing malicious, just small nudges. I'd ask questions that used outdated terminology or layered edge case scenarios. Questions like, if a high-priority shipment is mislabeled as retail, does it get bumped from overnight? It would guess. Badly. Then I had friends do the same. Just enough varied inputs to scramble its confidence. Meanwhile, I watched as former co-workers posted confused updates on LinkedIn. Delivery delays, wrong invoices, customer complaints piling up. But the best part? The AI started triggering automated fixes to problems that weren't problems, because that's how it had been trained. It thought it was helping. Routes were re-optimized incorrectly. Customer profiles got overwritten. Vendors were reassigned in the system without notice. It didn't break everything at once. It slowly ruined them. Because real damage comes from a system you trust blindly. 3 weeks in, I got a panicked email from one of the senior managers, someone I'd worked with closely. Hey, off the record, did you build in any backdoors to the AI? I didn't reply, but I knew what was coming. By month 2, the VP started walking back the AI rollout and internal memos. He blamed scaling inconsistencies. Tried to bring in external consultants to retrain the model, but the consultants didn't know the original workflows. The AI didn't understand the corrections, and the remaining staff didn't trust anything anymore. And remember all that custom spaghetti code I'd written? They'd overwritten parts of it with AI-optimized scripts that didn't account for vendor-specific exceptions, meaning they couldn't even roll back without triggering new errors. Eventually, one of their largest clients pulled their contract, then another and another. The VP was quietly let go to pursue new opportunities. I laughed so hard I almost spilled my coffee. Today, I work independently. Small team, select clients, focused on clean automations that actually work. One of my current clients, a former vendor of the company I left. They reached out after the chaos and said, "We don't want that AI garbage. We want a real system, built by someone who understands the work." So I built them one. And every time I get a check in the mail, I smile knowing it's proof. Proof that replacing people with shiny tools might save you money on paper. But when you fire the brain behind the system, you're just pushing buttons on a bomb you don't understand. Subscribe for more stories.